Hello, hello, hello. This is Elster, me from Bemis Crafty Corner. And I originally started filming this video and I said, you know, this is going to be a great video. And then I realized there's a lot more to this than I originally thought as far as a video content. So we're going to be doing this as a two-part free class. And let me show you what this is. It's basically, it's an envelope folio. So it opens like this. Okay, and you end up with, you have a pocket here, you have a tuck pocket here, you can have pockets here, you have a pocket 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 up here, and then when you pull this part out, you have a pocket here, and you can have a pocket up here if you so choose, but you also have writing space on two sides. So kind of a big one and not that difficult really. So I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to get out supplies first for the first half, and then we'll do some cuts and things. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the one that I'm going to be doing is going to be using one of these big envelopes that Hag had a while ago, and they are 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay, so they're almost 9 by 9. All right, they have that nice flap on them, nice big catalog envelope. Okay, and then the other two envelopes that I'm going to be using, again, are top-loading catalog envelopes. Now, if you don't have these, that's okay. You can still do this. If you have these are the dot matrix envelopes. I had these in my sale a while ago. I do have them available in my shop as well. I think you get like 20 of them. But you can use these. You can use these. Now, I do recommend that you get the ones that don't have the metal on them, but if it has the metal, just pull it off. But, and if they're the licky sticky, even better. But if you've got this automatic stick, that's okay, because you're just going to seal these up anyway, okay? 2 of those. It'll be 2 of the big envelopes, 1 of the big square envelopes, or 2 of these, or even 2 regular legal size envelopes, okay? So those are your options. Let me do it again. Option 1 is 2 legal envelopes, you know, 2 big ones, and 1 of the big square ones. I think she still has some of these, but you'd have to reach out to her. The other option is these 2. If you have the top load, you can do the top load and 2 regular envelopes, or 2 of the dot matrix. If you do not have these, same thing applies. 2 of the end closers with either 2 of each of these or 1 of those. Okay? I hope that's understandable. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we need to have some tools. First thing we need is a paper trimmer that's going to be big enough to trim not just the side, but the length of the envelope as well. You're going to need some glue for this one. And what else? Some ink and a dauber, okay? You're going to probably want a corner rounder for making your pockets. And probably a pair of scissors just for some quick trimming if you need to make some trims anywhere. Also, you're going to want paper to cover this. It is kind of thick, so I'm going to recommend paper as opposed to cardstock, but if you have like the thinner scrapbook type cardstock, that's okay. All right, let's see, anything else? No, that's pretty much it. I mean, the tools on this are minimum. You're going to want a scoreboard and scoring tools. Yeah. Okay, So now that we've got all that out of the way, I'm going to be back in just a second, and I'm going to show you what cuts we're going to make on each of these envelopes. I'll be right back. All right, so before we cut anything, we want to seal these up. Okay, so we're going to seal this one. And then we're going to seal this one. And the reason we're sealing it is because we're trying to use that for stability. We're going to cut off one of these ends, but we want stability, okay? So we might as well just put the flap down. All right. So now that we have both of those, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide which one of these is going to be our base unit. And we're just going to fold that one in half. Now, you don't have to score this if you don't have a scoreboard. Just fold it in half. Okay? Use your bone folder. Make sure you get that fold nice and crisp. Okay? And then we're going to cut off both ends. And we're just going to take a scant amount. We just want to open this up, okay? So just a tiny little bit, and it is just to open the ends, okay? So that's our base. I'm just going to put a B on there so I know that's my base. Then the second one, we are going to take a scant amount off the top edge. Doesn't matter which one side or the other, we're just going to take a scant amount. Okay? Because we want this to be able to slide into this. So if it does not slide in, take a little bit more. Just make sure you take it off the same side. Okay, I want mine to be just a little bit looser, so I'm going to take just another little scant amount. There we go. And then I'll test that again. And it works fine. So now this one, let me get this out of the way, we're going to fold this one in half as well. Bone folder, really burnish that fold, okay? So now I have one envelope that opens on the two sides, here and here, and this is my base, which I've marked. This is my flap, and it opens at the top, okay? So let's put an F on that, flap, okay? Now, I'm going to put a pocket here on this part. So unless I'm going to have a pocket on that side as well, which I can do, I want to close that back up here and here. Okay? For the purpose of this, I'm going to be closing that because I don't want it too bulky trying to fit it in there. So all I'm going to do is open my pocket up, and I'm going to look for that score line that's right there, and I'm just going to run some glue just inside of it, just to the right of it. A little bit of glue, and then across the top. Okay, so basically I'm going to seal this side of the envelope. All right, so now this side is open. Let's take a look. This side is open, and this side has been glued. Okay, it's been glued all the way down here and across the top. All right, so this one, good. This one closed. Now, if I want to put another pocket over here, I could certainly do that. I can just trim a little bit off and open this up on the end and then put in a pocket here. we can do that, okay? I'm not doing it on this one, but we can. All right, so now we have one piece that goes into the other, one flap that goes into the base. But we don't have anything over here yet. Well, that's where our envelopes are going to come in. If you're using these envelopes, these are the ones that are like 4 1/8 by 9 1/2, just over 9 1/2. But the thing is, as you can see, they are larger than our envelope. We need them to actually be slightly smaller. So I'm just going to put one on here. I'm going to put a line, and I'm just going to cut shallow of that line. And do them one at a time. So that line puts me at almost a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to take it to the 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to go just a little further. So I'm going to go between 1/2 and 3/4 inch. That's what I'm taking off. Okay, same thing on this one. Between the 1/2 and the 3/4, 5/8, taking that off. Now I'm going to prep this envelope. Let me get this one out of the way. So we need this envelope to fit in our base. Let me grab the base. Let's test fit. Ooh, that fits in there perfect. Beautiful. Okay, get rid of the base. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this one and this one together right at that crease. Let me go ahead and put a line, ink that there so you guys can see that line. Because I have to make a new envelope out of this. Okay. So, first things first, let's seal up our envelope. Just put a bead of glue right along the edge here, as close to the edge as you can. On both. Okay, and then see the line? We are going to glue this, and you can use tape here if you want to. You don't have to use glue. Tape might be a more expedient way of doing it. The base of this envelope onto that flap, to the line, just a hair shy of it. Make sure your top and bottom lines up. And that you have that on there nice and straight. Okay, because you want it to be able to do that. There we go. Looking good. This is our flap 2. So at this point you would have a base unit. You have a flap on the left that's made out of 2 envelopes, or your solid envelope if you have one. And then you have this one, which is your second flap, which goes into your base on this side. That is your basic construction. Now, go back and, glue down these little flappy things that you see. Just make sure that they're all glued down nice and tight, okay? Once we have that, we can actually move on to the next part of this, okay? So, you're going to treat, if you have these, you're going to treat them exactly the same as you treated those envelopes, okay? So if you're using these, you're going to treat it exactly the same. So now I'm going to show you with the other envelope how this works. I'll be back. All right, if you're using 2 side load envelopes, we're going to start with the first one, and all we're going to do is seal this, okay? Now, mine has a little bit of a drop here, so I'm going to be careful to not glue that. So I'm just going to glue around my edge. Not along here, because I don't want to seal this part, okay? So basically where the licky sticky part is, I can glue. And then on the side edges. Go ahead and close that down and press. And I'm going to do the same thing to the second envelope as well. Move this one. So I'm going to go right along the edge. The whole sticky part, you know, that you'd lick to stick the envelope closed. And then right along this edge. Okay? Close that up. And then, just like I did on the other one, I'm going to cut the ends off of this, scant them out both sides. And then on this one, I'm going to cut the top. Just to scant them out. Okay? So that opens up my top on one and both sides on the other. Get that open. There we go. So I have both sides open. All right. So now, the one that has both sides, fold it in half. Line up your corners. Go ahead and use your bone folder. Okay. Now, this one, fold it in half. So now this is the one that opens at the top, and so this is the one I'm going to seal. I want to seal a little bit of the fold, because I don't want anything that goes in here to, you know, scoot over to that side. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue, just up that fold, and then right across the top. Okay, there and there. Now, earlier I said you could put a pocket in over here, so we're going to do that. Okay, I'm going to open up this end just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of decide where I want my pocket to be, which for me I think is going to be right about there. And all I'm going to do is just glue this part. So, open that. A little bit of glue. And glue across. So now, I have a pocket up here. That's a nice big pocket. If I want this pocket to be less, you know, deep, just glue it. Just go in there and run some glue. Okay? So now my pocket goes down to about there. All right? And then this is sealed, and there's a little pocket over here. Okay? That is flat. Flat left. This is my base. F left. B base. This one should slide into this one. Okay. I lied. This is my flap right. Okay, and this one should slide nicely into that one. And it does. Okay. So now we're going to work the pocket on the other side. And this is where you're going to want your scoreboard. Unless you can do this by eye. You're going to fold this envelope over to just shy of that line. Just shy of where the paper comes. That's kind of where you want this to be. Okay? And then on the inside, you're going to run a bead of glue right there. Because you do not want things that go into one pocket to migrate to the other. It does not have to be pretty. Okay? Now, I have a pocket. I'm going to have a pocket here. I haven't cut it yet. But I have a pocket here that goes to that fold. Okay? And then this side, we're going to trim this off. Again, just a scant amount. We have these big, beautiful envelopes. We want to use the whole big, beautiful envelope. Okay? So now I have a pocket here that goes to the fold. I have a pocket here that goes down to the fold. This is going to slide in to the other side of my base with this piece right here. Come here. Thank you. Okay. Okay. To the normal crease. That's our base. All right? So, all right, there you have it. You have your flap left made out of your envelope, your smaller envelope. You have a pocket here. You have a pocket here. You have a pocket here. This is your base. This is closed. This is your pocket on the right. There's a pocket here. And a pocket up here. And these all slide in. All right? So that's the end of part one. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to cut the mats for this, because all of these envelopes are going to be different sizes. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that, how to reinforce some spots here for your pockets and things. So that will be in part two. If you're new here, go ahead and push the button for me and subscribe. What else? Check a look at my community tab. Tells you everything that I got going on, including free classes just like this one. And there's a link in the description below to my Facebook group, my Patreon, and my Ko-Fi. You can get some free digitals over on my Ko-Fi. You can do all kinds of fun stuff on my Facebook group. And if you are so inclined, you can get a free 1-week membership over on my Patreon. And that just shows me that you support the channel and that you're supporting what I'm doing. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.